All right, so I'm watering my plants right now, and I had some thoughts on genetically modified organisms, specifically genetically modified crops. Okay, so a GMO crop is a plant, kind of like this guy, that is genetically altered to introduce a trait that the plant wouldn't normally have. Okay, for example, a gene can be modified within a plant that will cause it to increase its own production of its own natural insecticide, like lectins, which I've talked about, which can wreak havoc on our gut. For example, kind of the GMO crop that I'm most concerned about are the ones that are modified to be resistant to glyphosate or Roundup. The way this works and the reason farmers use it is that they can spray their crops with Roundup. The crops are resistant to glyphosate, but the weeds are not. So it kills all the weeds and the crops survive. Now, even non-GMO crops are actually, many are sprayed with Roundup because Roundup it acts as a good desiccant, which makes it easier to harvest the crops. So it's very difficult to avoid Roundup exposure. So glyphosate or Roundup, it's everywhere, except for the several countries that have banned it. And I'll explain the reason that they've banned glyphosate and why I'm weary of it. So the big problem with glyphosate is the same reason that it's so effective against weeds. It's actually effective against our microbiome, the bacteria in our gut, and it prevents them from making 3 essential amino acids. Kind of the moral of the story is that scientists have done a great job modifying plants to make them resistant to certain things to help them yield bigger results. But we are not resistant to these things.